Welcome today. I am Laura Unsworth. I'm the Director of Enrollment and Communications here at Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School. It is our very great pleasure to have you here with us today for our, we're calling it hybrid open house. Many of you had registered for our open house that was to take place a few weeks ago, and we really appreciate your flexibility and moving to this new format today. A little bit about today, just a few nuts and bolts. I will introduce everybody on our panel here today. You will hear from everyone. This is a group of our school leaders who will each give you a bit of a different perspective about Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School. We also will be showing you a lovely video that tells you the history of our school and where we've come from as we are celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. And we also will be doing a virtual tour so you can see the comprehensive layout of the inside of the campus. And then we very much hope that you will be joining us this afternoon for our outdoor adventure portion of today, where you can actually come here in person and have never before have we done this for open house, a wonderful tour of our campus outside with some of our grade 12 prefects and some of our faculty. We will be here to greet you, to answer questions, and we will have food trucks here for a complimentary lunch. So please do join us afterwards. We're very excited about that portion as well. So before we go to the video, I'll just introduce everybody on the screen here. So we have our head of school, Ms. Carol Grant-Watt, give a wave. And we have our elementary principal, Ms. Jennifer Conway. Our middle school principal, Jessica Richmond, our senior school principal, Anand Mahadevan, our deputy head of school, Mr. Trevor Julian, the president of our parents organization, Amy Meyer, Scott Bennett, the director of campus sustainability and development, and our enrollment assistant director of enrollment, Mr. Eric Hawthorne, who many of you have probably spoken to or communicated with recently. So before I pass it over to everybody else, I just want to quickly say I absolutely love this school. I am a proud alumna from the class of 95. And then I ended up coming back for my dream job to actually get to work here and meet all of the amazing families and students who join our community. And I'm also the proud parent of a grade 2 student here. So I wear many hats. I can truly say what I love most is this incredible place where we are, this campus, which you can see in many of the backgrounds behind our panel today, and the incredibly strong community here at the school, which I'm sure you'll hear more about as well. So thank you again for joining us. This is just a bit to get to know us this morning, and we look forward to getting to know you better over the next few months. So with that, I will cue the 50th video so you can see a bit of a history of our school, and then I'll pass it over to the rest of our panelists. Thank you.
In 1971, a group of forward-thinking, courageous leaders and educators broke ground on a new campus in a remote rural area just south of Calgary, Alberta. Little did they know that this tiny school with big ideas would go on to become the gold standard of independent private education in Canada and around the world. Over the past half-century, Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School helped prepare students for successful lives of purpose by inspiring them to become their best possible selves. The school, which was founded in 1968, was the result of the amalgamation of Strathcona School for Boys and Tweedsmuir, an academic school for girls. Construction began on the facility in 1970, followed by the arrival of the first class in the fall of 1971. Despite small initial class sizes and an imbalance in enrolment between male and female students, it was clear that both schools shared a strong vision for private education in Alberta, as well as an unwavering commitment to excellence. The decision was made to move to co-ed classes in 1972, and from there, Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School came together to create something amazing. Rather than simply cultivate academic strengths, our goal is to create successful, well-rounded individuals who are able to succeed in every aspect of their lives. Another thing that sets Strathcona-Tweedsmuir apart is its willingness to stay ahead of the curve in terms of technology. From the introduction of the first personal computers into the classroom in the 1980s to the STEAM program of today, recognizing the value of these advancements is paramount to preparing students for the ever-expanding digital world in which they live. While we embrace the future, we have never forgotten that kindness is at the heart of everything we do at STS. From the earliest grades, our students learn how their gifts, when properly applied, can be used to transform the world around them. By recognizing the opportunities they have been given, they gain a deeper appreciation of how they can shape the future in a positive way and become the essence of a complete human being. This is the core philosophy behind becoming a global citizen. STS received official accreditation for the International Baccalaureate program in 2001, making it the only independent school in Alberta that provides IB programs in every grade from K to 12, and thereby further cementing our legacy of success. STS has always understood that not all learning takes place in the classroom. In addition to our Aspen classroom, our 220-acre campus features a natural forest, sports facilities, a pond, and walking trails. By using the entire campus as our classroom and immersing our students in a natural setting, we can help bring a real-world perspective to their studies. By challenging ourselves against nature and learning about other countries and cultures, we become aware of both our own inner strength and our ability to adapt to any situation in pursuing our goals. We believe that every STS education is only made possible by the overwhelming support of the STS community. All activity in support of Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School is an everlasting pledge towards the success of exceptional, independent, private education in Canada. With the help of generous financial donations from citizens like you, we are able to continue to provide a world-class experience for all our students. Through it all, we will continue to look to our school motto to guide us, a simple phrase that encompasses our entire journey: nil nisi optimum, nothing but the best. As we celebrate the first 50 years of Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School, we also turn our gaze towards the next 50, where the global citizens of today will become the leaders of tomorrow.
50 years is a long time for an organization to exist. What excites me about STS is the strong decision-making that's been made throughout its history, and the strong decision-making and leadership that exists at all levels in the organization going forward. I believe that we are perfectly positioned to do what we need to do to support our students today and beyond. And it is exciting in that unknown future to dwell on possibility. I am most excited about our new mission statement. I love the inclusion of the word flourish. Who wouldn't want students to flourish in all of the aspects of their life? And really setting all of our decisions focused on making sure that our kids are taken care of in all possible ways.
I'm a big fan of the school's new mission statement because I think it encourages students to take risks and yet feel safe as they figure out who they are and who they want to be. And STS is a place where we want everyone to feel like they're included in the community and that they can be the person that they are, but be the best version of themselves.
Compassionate, curious, and creative students will be good for the world. We're going to face some significant challenges, and I really believe that these students are our hope for the future. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what these young people can do. It is the STS trailblazing spirit that allowed the founders to imagine a school out here on the prairies, that allowed us to build spectacular facilities, and has allowed us to embrace a new strategic plan that will dwell in possibilities in an uncertain world. While I don't know truly what the outcome will be, I know that it's going to be great because of the people that will make it happen. One of my favorite quotes is by Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a thoughtful, committed group of people can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. That STS community is remarkable. And being a part of it for this time in its history, there's nothing better. And I know that we will do great things.
It's been a real pleasure to be involved in the strategic planning process at STS, and I feel very grateful for having been able to participate in it. It's been a terrific experience working with the Board of Governors and the Foundation, but the most amazing part of it has been watching the passion that the faculty and staff have for the school and for the kids who are going to attend the school. And every time we've had any kind of session with regard to strategy, I've been completely blown away by the capabilities, the passion, the curiosity of the staff and the faculty. And we're truly blessed to have a pretty special group of people at the school. And I'd like to thank Carol Grant-Watt and her team for helping us move the school forward.
Be bold. Don't hang back. Go with your courage. Go with your gut. Go with your initiative. Dare things. Dare them. Challenge them. All of that. I think it's exciting.
And without further ado, I'm going to pass it along to Mrs. Carol Grant-Watt, our head of school. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Really difficult to follow the amazing Peter Ditchburn. I could sit and listen to him forever. Good morning, panelists and visitors. Welcome to our virtual open house. It is a beautiful campus, and we look forward to welcoming you in person when we can. I am so honored and excited to be here with you, as I have the most incredible job of being your head of school. And the reason that's incredible is that I have the opportunity to work with the most amazing and dedicated team of teachers and staff that I've ever had the opportunity to do. You're going to meet many of them this morning and ask them questions, but really our people are the secret sauce in our recipe. Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School is more than a great school to me. STS inspires journeys that lead our students beyond anything they could have imagined, and where relationships, kindness, excellence in academics, rigor, joy, and real world experiences create conditions for our human beings to thrive and flourish. I love the pictures that you just saw in the video, past and present. I believe in our vision statement that you saw that will be formally adopted later this month, that STS does inspire compassionate, curious, and creative global citizens who lead with courage. We need that now more than ever. My true joy is seeing this on a daily basis, including today as our grade 9 students spend the day learning outdoor skills, and they'll return to the campus to campsites to further their education in that area. This is a school where people matter, where we do the right things, even when it's hard, and where joy abounds. Our students have the opportunity at STS to curate a personalized experience that meets their individual needs and interests. And I love the limitless possibilities this brings for people. And I do believe in our mission statement that STS is a diverse community where students will pursue lives of purpose, flourishing emotionally, physically, intellectually, in a safe and caring environment where values matter. We also believe in connecting the passion of our individual students to purposeful work as we strive to be good for the world. I want to sincerely thank you for joining us. Our trailblazing spirit is indeed alive and well as we embrace the next part of this journey. It is an exciting time at STS, as you've already heard, as we embark on this new innovative strategic plan. I extend a sincere invitation for you to join us. It is an honor and privilege to share the morning with you, and thank you for taking time to learn more. Please connect back regularly as it's ever changing. Our new strategic plan promises many exciting initiatives, building on a strong tradition of academic excellence, experiential education, and relationships. We continue to reimagine, to innovate, to create, and indeed create the future. And I will add, the opening of the new ring road this morning makes us even closer. My team and I are certainly here to answer any of your questions. Thank you very much for spending time with us.
Thank you, Ms. Grant-Watt. That was great. Before I pass it along to our principals, there are quite a few questions about the application process, the SSAT. Those pieces will be covered by Mr. Hawthorne when he does the virtual tour, and he'll show you on our website where to go for certain things. So just please know that is coming. Also, in terms of busing and a few things like that, we can cover that at the end as well too. So I'm not ignoring your questions. I just want to get through the panelists and then see what else is left to offer or answer. With that, I will pass it on to Miss Jennifer Conway. She's our elementary school principal.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. STS's elementary school is kindergarten through grade 6. We do have a full day kindergarten program. We are an international baccalaureate school. It's a continuum school, meaning it runs through kindergarten through grade 12. The elementary portion of the IB is called the primary years program. So you will often hear it referred to as the PYP. PYP allows us to deliver the Alberta program of studies through a framework, which allows teachers to look at their unit planning, their teaching, and their learning experiences in a unique way. It is not an additional curriculum, but instead is a way that we deliver the Alberta program of studies. By teaching through inquiry, students are able to look at big picture questions while diving deeper into their learning, while we also achieve balance with looking at skills-based and direct instruction for things such as literacy and numeracy, which we know are paramount in the foundational learning of students. I think the best way for me to explain to you how PYP works and the transdisciplinary learning is to give you a quick example. So in grade 3 right now, the students are looking through the theme of how the world works. They are using the question of how natural processes can create changes in the Earth's surface. So what this does is it allows science, looking at the rock cycle, the Earth's surface, as well as math, looking at patterning and counting and graphing, as well as language arts to write about their experiences and bringing it all into one unit. A really special opportunity for the kids this week was they were able to travel out to Kananaskis, and they went to Allenville's Pond and the Elbow Falls. And what they did was they looked at the effects of the 2013 flood and how it's changed the Earth's surface. So they were able to take all of the classroom learning and take it to an experiential experience, which was really special for them. And you'll see oftentimes our kids, even when they're talking with you, if you're explaining something, you'll see them go like this. This means they're making connections. This is our universal symbol at STS of I'm making a connection with something that I've seen and what you're talking about, which is so special here out at the school. I think that one of the most beautiful and unique things about our school is our actual physical learning space. The school was designed with architects as well as educational consultants. So when you come out to the classrooms, you can see our studios are very thoughtfully designed to allow for flexible learning spaces where students can advocate for their learning. They have open studios that are joined to allow classes to come together or break apart. There are small collaboration spaces if students need a quiet space to learn. Even small details such as where the windows are placed allow students, even when they're sitting on the ground, to have viewpoints to our forest outside and nature. And the beautiful lighting, as you can see, the background that I have is an example of the lighting that comes in through the school. It's just a big, open, calm learning environment that enhances the students' learning experiences. Our faculty is also amazing. They take part in regular PD and teach each other and bring in best practice, as well as we have specialist teachers for kindergarten through grade 6. So they have access to an art, music, French, and physical education specialist. We also have a unique program called Encore, which embeds co-curricular into our timetable. So every Friday, students have a choice of a co-curricular that they would like to sign up for a 6-week session that allows them to further explore a program of study outcome or an approaches to learning skill that they're interested in learning more about. One of the most special things for me at this school is our campus and watching our elementary school students be able to play on playground structure or play in the forest or play in open fields. It's just a really special and magical place to learn. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll pass it on to Ms. Jessica Richmond, our middle school principal.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to be here with you. I'm very proud to represent the Strathcona-Tweedsmuir Middle School. My name is Jessica Richmond, and I'm the principal for grades 7, 8, and 9. I'm a deeply passionate middle years educational leader, and in fact, I believe in the importance of this work so much that this is the 3rd school that I'm a middle school principal at. At STS, the beautiful natural setting, incredibly talented staff, and the world-class IB program allow us to deliver an extraordinary middle years experience. Throughout last week, we've spent evenings on the beautiful campus with starlight camp cookouts and a campfire following days of hiking in the local mountains. What more could we want to do with our grade 9 students to help them with their development and stretching their learning edges? The middle years are a very exciting time for young people. They are in the process of developing their first draft of their autonomous adult selves, and we know that they need room to explore, try new things, and make mistakes within a safe environment. I see the middle school as a place where students are writing essentially a rough draft of the person they will become as they become older, and as they learn lessons, perhaps through success, failure, and learning about themselves, they're crossing out and fixing and changing what they want that final draft to look like once it's the polished final version. And so we want our students to feel as comfortable as possible as they move through this stage of their lives, while also inspiring and challenging them to continually expand their own concept of what they think they're capable of achieving and being. It also is part of the package that the middle years can be a stressful time for young people. They're navigating new social dynamics and often taking on greater responsibility in their lives. And at STS, we provide a safe environment for learning and exploration through a real family feeling in the school. Students benefit from small student to teacher ratios, consistent homeroom groupings, and an individual teacher advisor. There's a balance. What this creates is a balance of close mentorship and support from teachers, advisors, and our student services team, while providing those ample opportunities to refine academic skills, enjoy a rich offering of co-curricular programs. And even in terms of character building, we require our middle school students to participate in their broader society through our service action program. In terms of the academics, the International Baccalaureate Middle Years Program, or MYP, is rigorous, and that means we have high expectations, but also provide high support. And there's often a hands-on style of learning in this program, which is so appropriate for this age level. Students are encouraged to ask questions, to think critically, and to learn to work together beyond their immediate friend groups. Our ultimate goal in the middle school is that our students will be inspired to move forward as well-balanced, confident individuals who go on to lead purposeful lives. And as our head of school, Carol Grant Watt mentioned, STS is indeed a place where we have lots of fun too. Ultimately, the outcome of middle school is to send our students on to senior school with a strong sense of self as a person, as a learner, as a community member, and ready to rise to the challenges and opportunities headed their way. I'm always happy to chat individually with families, so please don't hesitate to ask Eric or Laura for contact info, and we can continue that dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. With that was a great transition to talk about senior school. I'll pass it on to Mr. Anand Mahadevan. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Unsworth. Hi, everyone. Welcome. It is so wonderful to be the senior school principal. The reason for that is because, as you've been hearing from Jennifer and Jessica, students are really kind of growing and putting out their wings and trying out what it means to be a version of themselves, and through the PYP program in the elementary school and the MYP program in the middle school. Please keep in mind, we do use the Alberta Program of Studies throughout, and it's layered together with the PYP and MYP frameworks. When students come to the senior school in grades 10, 11, and 12, we start really giving them more voice and choice. So they start getting ready to explore what might my post-secondary options be, what might my career aspirations be, and really giving them space to start having an influence on the school through leadership opportunities as well. So for example, we have prefects who help run many of the school's activities. We've got a very active student council that actually promotes student voice. We have athletic groups, we have co-curricular clubs, and really it helps students see themselves as movers and shakers, as future leaders, practicing their leadership skills within the context of that safe family environment that the previous principals have mentioned. The focus of our division is really around helping students develop their sense of being able to have control over their lives and make decisions for themselves in concert with their families as they head off to the next chapter of their lives as post-secondary students. We do that by providing support both through the Alberta Program of Studies, so everyone will earn a high school diploma from the Alberta provincial government, but they also have the option of continuing on with the IB either as a full IB diploma candidate, where they actually earn the IB diploma, which is provided through a very rigorous, it's the gold standard of international education, and very highly valued by many, many universities, both in Canada and abroad. Students also have the option to specialize in certain IB courses if they wanted. For example, students interested in medicine might choose to take IB biology and chemistry, but take Alberta programs of studies in the humanities. And that way then they can balance their workload, because as we've mentioned, we really value academic excellence, but we also value co-curriculars, we value service, we value developing ourselves as a whole individual. And so there continues to be a huge amount of support, both in the form of student support from learning strategists, from our guidance counselor, from the advisory programs that have been mentioned. But really, the goal is to help students become those leaders who are going to be caring, compassionate, curious, as Mrs. Grant-Watt mentioned. I love working with teenagers. I try to pretend that I'm a scary person. It doesn't really work. Students are always in my office. Students are always trying to tell me how to make the school better, and that makes my life so much easier. So we really view it as a true partnership between parents at home, students in the classroom, teachers in the building, and us as an administrative team truly believe in a servant leadership style, which is that we are here to help others flourish. That's really our goal. And so I'm going to end up by actually saying two things. One that's going to be anachronistic, which is that I want your children to fail in my division. And that's because we want them to actually learn how to pick themselves up. There's not a single adult on this screen who has not failed at some point in time in their lives. And learning how to pick oneself up from failure actually makes us stronger. And we want to teach our children that in a psychologically safe environment like STS. And finally, I want to say that we have high expectations and we'll never lower it for any child. However, we'll keep providing high levels of support in order to make sure that your child is able to succeed and meet those expectations and exceed them. So those are the two pieces that I want to let you know with. And again, we're always here to answer any questions, so please reach out.
Thank you. That was great. I'm now going to pass it on to our Deputy Head of School, Trevor Julian, to talk about all of the amazing opportunities outside of our academic program.
Welcome, guests. It's great to have so many people here on this webinar. There's no question as an academic institution that academic excellence is our priority throughout K to 12. However, there's just lots of amazing things that happen outside of the classroom. From kindergarten to grade 6, as Ms. Conway explained, we embed a lot of those opportunities within the school day, and Encore is a great example of that, and she'll talk more about that during the elementary session. From grade 7 to 12, we really see, I think you'd call it an explosion of opportunities for all students outside of the classroom that gives them lots of choice and lots of opportunities to develop and pursue their passions and interests. And so, it's quite remarkable, I think, especially for a school our size. We run a full athletics program so students can start playing on competitive teams in grade 7 right through to grade 12. We have a robust fine arts program, with bands and choirs and drama opportunities. We hold an annual musical in the fall, actually in winter this year, with our high school students. It's just remarkable. Service opportunities, both local and international, are available for students to pursue that. We have a robust outdoor education program. Speech and debate begins in grade 7, and it's remarkable to see what those students can do beginning in grade 7 right up to grade 12 as they develop their speaking skills. And many of these programs both are integrated in our curricular programs as well as opportunities outside of the classroom, and they're really many world-class programs. In the high school, more opportunities to travel and really engage in a global experience. We have a great Model United Nations program that travels throughout North America. There are travel opportunities often tied to curricular programs like history trips, for example, band trips. and things like that. So many different ways for students to pursue their passions, and a lot of our students, when they graduate, as they get older, look to those experiences as really the ones that mark their time at the school, but they also truly support our academic goals, which remain our priority throughout. So thank you.
Thanks very much. And then on that same note, I'm going to pass it to Scott Bennett to talk about some of the experiences, even beyond that, outside of the regular schedule. Thanks, Scott.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Saturday morning. I think I've got the best job on this panel here. Really, my portfolio is to utilize the spacious campus and facility and to create, as Chip and Dan, he's saying, that create those power of moments for students and to also strengthen connections within the greater STS community. One of the roles I work is offering after-school STEAM programs. So we'll be offering a number of different opportunities for students after school that include a VR, a Scratch coding, a Makey, Microbit, Arduino, a number of opportunities for them to think critically, have that computational thinking, and just to play. And we work with a number of third parties. One of our partners is Coded Minds, as well as Fuse 33 to support that computational thinking. Another big part of my portfolio is to offer enriched experiences in the summer programs. So very excited. This past summer, we offered about 35 one-week summer camps. We were pleased to have over 600 students participate in these opportunities. We figure there's close to 40% of students, current STS students, who participated. Over 20% of new incoming students to STS took advantage of this opportunity as well, which is really great to see. And we're really trying to grow and utilize this campus in the summertime. We also in the summer worked with a number of third parties that included Hoop Strength, Pivot Point, Golf. We neighbored with our partner next to us, the Calgary Polo Club, Striker Sports. Our job is also utilize the Aspen Lodge. So we were very fortunate to work with Two Wheel View, and we ran 2 one-week bike camps, working with them to introduce some technical riding and bike maintenance. One of our flagship pieces is the outdoor ed program, so we've grown to expand this in the summer offerings. Students have the opportunity to learn water safety with basic paddling skills, but also to have fun and do a variety of games on our pond. We utilize the climbing wall, so students have begun on the bouldering wall, and then they expand into harnessing up and belaying with partners in a number of our climbing structures, and we've actually grown and expanded that this year. And then our final part of that outdoor ed program is for students to then walk and use the hiking and orienteering trails on the campus. One of our flagships that we're really excited to offer for new students is our Taste of STS camp. We had about 85 students this past August join us, and it's really to give students the opportunity to meet faculty, to meet other peers, and to get a number of experiences, whether it be STEAM or our fine arts, and kind of give them a taste of STS before they actually join our community. One last point is we also offer a number of summer school opportunities. This past summer, we offered 8 senior high courses and had approximately 170 students take advantage of this opportunity in the month of July to meet some of their high school credits, and offer a number of flexibility and possibilities for co-curricular opportunities as well. Again, I feel very fortunate. My role is to utilize this campus in the beautiful summer months, as well as after schools and throughout the year. Let me know if you have questions about any of these opportunities.
Thanks, Scott. And I think you can see a tale being told here. All of these parts add to a very individual experience for students here, so that they have an opportunity to pursue the things that interest them, their passions, with a lot of support from many different people, and also really great opportunities to build meaningful friendships with their peers too. That's a big important thing here too. So with that, speaking of community, I'm going to pass it on to Amy Meyer, who is the president of our parents organization, to tell you a little bit more from a parent perspective.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Laura. Yes, my role as the post president is to really help engage the community and the parents, and especially in volunteering. There's some amazing ways to communicate or to connect with the community. But I really want to talk to you more about a role that I'm even more proud of, and that's to be a parent at the school. I have 3 children at this school. They're grades 7, 10, and 11. And I'm really proud of them, and I'm here to validate everything that you're hearing from the principals, from the leadership team is all very true. Let me give you 2 examples. My oldest started at STS in grade 7. She is now in grade 11. She had the opportunity to come prior to grade 7, but she wasn't quite ready. And I really listened to her, and we had to find the right time for her when it worked for her to come in. And when she chose that at grade 7, she did really engage within her group, her community, and got involved in the speech and debate, got involved in student council, and now she's in grade 11 and she's doing full IB, which sometimes I'm like, wow, that's a really big task to take on. And I am so proud of her for choosing to do that on her own. So that's kind of an example of kind of that middle school into the senior school. And then I'd like to also share about my youngest as well. I didn't give her a choice, to be honest. She was a grade 1 at the time. There wasn't a kindergarten grade, and I loved the school. I loved everything about it when I learned about it, and so I chose that for her coming in at grade 1. She's now at grade 7, so she did all of her entire elementary there, and great opportunities, exactly what Ms. Conway is talking about. The Encore program is amazing, to be able to do music as an extracurricular. Again, all of that, being able to combine your science with your math, with your music even, is amazing. And my kids love it at the school. I was even just talking to them last night, all 3 of them, and every single one of them have a different experience and a different opportunity. And the school, I can validate for you what you're hearing from the school is that they tailor it to each student. And trust me, each of my children are very different from one another. And I'm very proud of the school. And if anything, I wish I could go back in time and have the amazing opportunities. So with that, if you have any questions as a parent, please reach out. I'm happy to answer anything. I have, again, experience from all 3 divisions. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on campus.
Thank you, Amy. And Amy, she's such a wonderful example of so many of our parents. There's so many ways to get involved and be a part of the community. And that's what really another thing that makes the school so special. So thank you very much. Before we head into our virtual tour portion, I believe Mr. Julian just wanted to touch on student services throughout all the grades. So I'll pass that back to him to do that.
Sure. Thanks, Laura. One thing that a number of speakers have alluded to is just the level of support for students, and I think it's worth pointing out just a real network of support right from kindergarten through to grade 12 through our student services department. We have learning strategists for each division whose work is dedicated to support learning differences and individual learners as they work closely with classroom teachers, students, and often families to make sure learning plans are in place to help students be successful. We have social emotional counseling as well in all 3 divisions that support student wellness, health and wellness, which is something we talk about a lot at the school in trying to equip students with the skills to be well, but also the support to help them be the best version of themselves. Also in that department is our dedicated university counselor that starts working with students really in grade 9, but more focused in the high school as they investigate and research and align, a post-secondary choice that aligns with their passion and goals, and they work with students and families. And there's a robust department there led by our director of student services that really are designed to work in concert with the school to support students to be their best.
Thank you. One question I saw that I think everyone probably has is just around busing. So I'm just going to answer that quickly before. Our busing system is very robust. We do a new route plan every year based on the families that sign up for busing. We have choices to do both ways, one way, part-time, and the busing routes are planned around where families live. So the younger children bus stops would be closer to them. As they get older, they'd be a little bit farther away, but should still be in a walking distance in most cases. So we do try very hard, knowing that our school is located just outside of the city. We have families, I'd say 80% of our families live in Calgary and probably all 4 quadrants of the city. We also have a lot of families who live in rural locations, farther south than us and in Okotoks. So our catchment is very big for our school, and our busing service meets that need, I think, to make it very accessible to come to the school. We also have early and late busing programs. So when students are involved in co-curriculars outside of the regular school day, so choir, athletics, band, speech and debate, all of those things, musical rehearsals, we have an early and late bus system that has sort of catchment stops at main locations like South Center, that kind of thing. So students can get here for those activities as well. Let me just see if there's any other questions that I should address. Mr. Hawthorne, do you see anything that I should address with everyone before I pass it on to you?
I think we've answered so many questions. If you haven't
Okay.
already, while we're going through that virtual tour, I would encourage you to look through the Q&A and the answered tab. Many questions will have wonderful answers from all different staff at the school.
Yes, and at the end, we do encourage you to join the division specific breakout sessions. So if you're interested in kindergarten to grade 6, you would go with Miss Conway. If you're interested in grade 7 to 9, you would go with Miss Richmond. If you're interested in grade 10 to 12, you would go with Mr. Mahadevan. That will not be a webinar format. You'll actually be on the screen and you can have more of a conversation. So any of those specific questions that you don't feel were answered, that is the time to do that for sure. And with that, I do see some hands raised, and I think if you have a question, put it in the Q&A button. Otherwise, save one-on-one conversations for the division meeting if that works. So with that,
I just wanted to clarify.
Sorry, sorry, out of school.
So because of Zoom etiquette, I think you know that we're doing this, but just in case, we've been busy answering questions. So when our heads have been down typing, that's what we've been doing and trying to get you the most comprehensive answers possible.
Yes, thank you. That's a good point. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Mr. Hawthorne to show you our virtual tour. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for being here today. We are going to transition to a virtual tour, and this will be the time where we will say farewell to the rest of our panelists and switch over to some screen shares. So thank you very much everyone for joining us for the webinar portion. We're going to move into a virtual tour, and I want to start by addressing some key elements of admission. Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School's website is www.strathcona-tweedsmuir.com. And I'm going to bring you to that website now. So here you can see our home website. You can see strathcona-tweedsmuirschool.com up in the top. And this is your destination for any and all information related to admissions. You'll see that admissions tab right at the top. And if you click on that button, you'll find how to apply, our online application platform, and many other details such as frequently asked questions, information about financial assistance, and more. If you have any questions regarding the admission process, this is your first place, but know that we understand admission can be a complicated and individual process for each family. Don't hesitate to call. When you phone the admission office, you'll speak with myself, Ms. Unsworth, or Ms. Alsop in the office, and the three of us would be happy to help you. The other piece I wanted to address is what you'll see on our virtual tour is a mix of footage, both before and after the COVID-19 pandemic began. This section here, COVID-19 updates, provides you with our school's comprehensive platform and guidebook to what we're doing as a school. We won't go through more information beyond that, but I know this can be an important topic for many families. If you'd like to learn more about COVID-19, please visit our website and look for that COVID-19 updates section. I'm now going to transition over to our virtual tour. Please bear with me one moment while I get that video started. Welcome to Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School. Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School is Alberta's only kindergarten to grade 12 IB school, a continuum school that helps parents and their children who want excellence in scholarship, leadership, and character by developing confident, well-rounded students who embrace challenge with curiosity intent, and the ability to apply themselves. Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School offers a very diverse set of options and individual support for each student. Our 220-acre campus offers natural learning. We are filled with committed and talented teachers. And as Ms. Grant-Watt said, it is the people here who make this such a special place. So come on into the school with us. We're on the morning drive. Many families want to know about the schedule, what it's like to be a student at STS. We ask families to arrive, whether you're driving or taking the bus, for 8:45 a.m. so that classes can begin shortly after by 8:50 to 8:55. Elementary, middle, and senior school students all have their own specific schedule. In elementary, you'll have 8 periods a day, including 2 recess breaks and a lunch break. Whereas in middle and senior school, you'll have 5 periods a day with a lunch break at the middle of your day. We're going to move through our facilities and talk about some of the highlights that your children may experience if they join Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School. You heard from our principals about the personalized learning services and support, the co-curricular options to fulfill a student's well-rounded experience, and our state-of-the-art facilities act as that extra teacher in the room, providing an amazing environment. Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School dates back to 1905 as St. Hilda's School for Girls, and it was Strathcona School for Boys and Tweedsmuir and Academic School for Girls that came together to coordinate and create Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School in 1971 for our first classes. We're here in the Black Watch Bistro where students have their daily lunch options and breakfast options. We have separated lunch times for each division. And you can see how our students make use of this space. Weekly menus provide scheduled options for younger elementary students, whereas older elementary, middle, and senior school students can walk up to the cafeteria and make choices based on what's available. No pop, no candy at our cafeteria. Healthy choices to allow for a well-balanced diet. This is the C.A. Smith Art Center, a classroom and learning space, but also a very well-supplied environment for excellent stage productions. If your child is interested in the dramatic arts, if they like to sing, dance, perform, if they have a future on Broadway, this is a place that they're going to enjoy. We host annual musicals at our senior school, as well as middle and elementary opportunities to be on stage and perform. We're now moving into our elementary school spaces. The elementary school opened in January of 2018, and the Rose Elementary Wing is a fantastic space that offers an inspiring setting for modern education. We are moving away from the traditional framework that you see in most schools, and instead you'll find learning studios, collaborative, flexible spaces, and an environment where our committed teachers can create something very special. As you heard from our principals, we do teach the Alberta education curriculum, but it is enriched by linking subject matter directly to the practical world, and that is the secret of the IB program. Strong academic outcomes are in place, and we do expect students to do well. But we understand that not every student is the same. We don't want every student to live up to the same standards as their peers, and instead we expect that we're going to personalize outcomes to what each student needs. We focus on problem solving and critical thinking. And you can see in our learning communities, as we now move into the grade 3 and 4 spaces, the ability for students to make choices, to have agency in their day is paramount. A body of research points to the fact that a student who is given the ability to choose where and how they learn is more engaged. We incorporate the values of teamwork, open-mindedness, and service-based learning directly into our classroom lesson plans. Students are working with technology in early grades, and it is important to engage with technology as young learners. Digital citizenship is an important skill set, and it doesn't come by naturally. So our students here in grades 3 and 4 are working on iPads, and later in grades 5 and 6, laptop use becomes a regular part of our program. A bring your own device program begins in grade 6, or pardon me, a school supplied laptop program begins in grade 6. And then by grade 8, students can bring their own laptop devices to the school. Students become adept at gaining knowledge and articulating understanding. It's very important to engage with your children, to have them have their own voice, to allow them time and space to speak up and share their ideas. We live and work in a pluralistic space where different ideas can exist in the same environment, even if they're opposed to one another. Respect and kindness are a core part of what we do at Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School. And our students are encouraged and regularly have to employ skills to negotiate and resolve differences between one another. It's part of what we expect, and it's why these learning communities are set up the way they are. You heard Ms. Conway talk about the intentional nature of building design, and the Rose Elementary wing is the exact space that she was talking about. Here in the grade 5 and 6 Learning Commons and studios, you can see our students working directly with their teachers in a classroom setting, focused perhaps on a mathematics, English language arts, or science-based piece of instruction where a new concept is being delivered. However, after that, elementary students will break out, select an individual space for them, and work on their own desired outcomes. In elementary, specialist classes are also supported. So in addition to your core subjects, every elementary student takes art, music, French language studies, and physical and health education. And those are taught by specialist teachers who are focused on those subjects. That means that your art educators are artists, they're professionals, and they're seeking to instill a love and creative expression that you want. In health and physical and health education, specialist teachers help students build their physical literacy and become comfortable with the idea that hard work can lead to results. It's so exciting to be a part of our school, and the energy of our elementary school is outstanding. Our students are active, they're happy, and they are engaged throughout the school day. We're going to now move into our middle and senior school spaces, and we transition from the newest parts of our school into some of the more traditional learning spaces. Middle and senior schools, as I said, have 5 courses a day. Those courses are approximately 70 minutes each, and there is a lunch break built into their day as well. Students in middle and senior school grow the options that they can select, where an elementary student only has Encore, the Friday afternoon block where clubs would occur, as their option choice. Here, starting in grade 7, arts-based options and language-based options become a part of our program. Co-curricular sports teams such as basketball, volleyball, cross-country running, track and field, badminton, and eventually golf, rugby, and field hockey all become a part of our school. Hands-on learning is essential to what we're doing. We are not interested in having a student sit back and watch. We want them to roll up their sleeves, get into the classroom experience, and be the artist that they're hoping to be. Try out a new skill that brings them to a place of discomfort so that they can stretch and grow and expand who they are. You can see in our classroom settings, students working on laptop computers, as I said, starting in grade 8. The Bring Your Own Device program at our school begins. We're focusing now on the arts-based programming at Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School. For students in grades 7 through 12, there are options in the arts related to visual art, drama, instrumental music, musical theater, as well as an outstanding design studio that deals with innovation and STEAM technologies. The instrumental music class for grade 7, 8, and 9 students occurs during the school day, whereas those students dedicated to instrumental music will actually be here early in the morning for grades 10, 11, and 12. And those musical programs are performing arts programs, meaning that your practiced instrument is a part of your assessment. Whereas if you're interested in singing, acting, dance, and things like that, our exciting new musical theater program makes use of the C.A. Smith Arts Center and the gathering stairs that you're seeing here to allow students to hone their craft and prepare for a life on the stage. Just up the gathering stairs from this space here, we're going to move into the Design and Innovation Lab. Design is a mandatory class for grades 7, 8, and 9 students and becomes an option for grades 10, 11, and 12. Design is all about using technology, tools, and devices to build and create. Using that design cycle of thinking where students are analyzing a problem, creating a prototype, actually bringing that prototype into the world, and then refining that system to meet an end user or client's goals, we use a variety of media, be it virtual reality and technology or code-based options, to physically building models, pieces of industrial machinery, or something that you could bring into the world as a physical object. The Student Success Center aligns with what Mr. Julian was talking about. We have learning strategists for each division and personalized support for each student at our school. Diverse learners are a core part of what we do at STS, and every student has value, no matter what their expectations or outcomes will be. And we want to support them with an enhanced environment where they can seek out support, gain help in the skills that they need, but also offer support to other students as peer tutors and exemplars when there's an evident strength in their abilities or a subject area. The library, the Peter Ditchburn Library, is a wonderful environment, and all students make use of this space. Elementary students have elementary literacy once a week and would come up to the library to take out a book, listen to an author, hear a presentation, whereas middle and senior school students can make this space their own by having classes in the library, coming to study over lunch, or simply making use of it for research, projects, and their own personalized needs. The library is an excellent example of the resources that Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School provides for all students. The Sandy Herd Sports Center is the large gymnasium for middle and senior school students. It's also home to our climbing wall, and it offers that hands-on, hard work experience that many students are looking for. There's insight and personal growth to be gained, and every student at Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School participates in physical education. Outdoor education is infused in all of our program. The natural campus setting and the expansive trips that we go on are supported by resources. This means that your child can come to Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School with no experience in snowshoeing, skiing, canoeing, and learn with us as a gradual process throughout their years of enrollment. School subjects such as phys ed, earth sciences are enhanced by outdoor educations as we move out to the campus and make use of the grounds that you're about to see. You heard about Aspen Lodge, our outdoor classroom. Aspen Lodge is a wonderful space for learning. It can be a home base for snowshoeing just as easily as an English lecture where we go through a particularly detailed or sensitive topic that may come up through a senior school student novel study program. This natural setting, the expansive ceiling to floor windows and doors that open up allow students to experience a feeling of calm peacefulness and to be immersed in nature. This matters. The world is our classroom, and we want students to know that there is more to this life than being in one place at one time, that they need to be ready to see beyond where they are at now and plan and work for an exciting future. With more than 220 acres, 10 kilometers of running trails, a pond on campus, Aspen Lodge as an outdoor classroom, athletic and playground spaces, it is truly an amazing place to be and to learn at Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School. I hope that you will be able to join us today for an outdoor experience where we can tour some of these spaces. You're seeing the pond where middle and senior school students practice their paddling and canoeing skills, as well as the Wilson Cooley Observatory, where students have access to astronomy technology, radio and scope-based telescopes, and our natural setting with the learning campsites newly created last summer allow for those skill development portions. Again, a child doesn't need to be skilled in the outdoors. They don't need to be practiced hikers or campers, but with a positive attitude and a willingness to commit, our learning campsites and this environment allow young people to grow to be the best versions of themselves. There is so much more to Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School than I could show you today, but I hope that this has given you a sense of what our school is like and what the inside of the buildings and spaces we offer at Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School look like. Thank you for participating in the virtual tour. We're going to close this virtual tour, answer a few more questions, and help you transition into your division-specific breakout sessions.
Absolutely, that's a great question. If we could talk a little bit about diversity in the STS community. Mr. Hawthorne, do you want to take this, or I can?
Oh, please go ahead.
Said you wanted to answer. Okay. So that's one of the things that I absolutely love about this school is how diverse our community is. We're very lucky to have families who have moved from across the globe to join our community, either through work transfers or just because they're aware of the IB schooling and they're looking for the IB school here. We have families from, I don't know, probably 40 different countries right now at the school. We also, because as I mentioned before, have students who come from all areas of Calgary and rural areas. That creates a really diverse community that we're very proud of. We are very inclusive. We celebrate all cultures, backgrounds. We also have a very robust financial assistance program to ensure that financiers are never a barrier to come to the school. We have very active student clubs with very diverse interest groups so that we embrace all of our students and where they are in life and where they come from. And we learn from each other. I think that's very, very important here. So diversity is celebrated here at STS. It's not just what we say, it's what we do every single day. And that is part of what makes this community so special.
Thank you for joining Strathcona-Tweedsmuir School for our virtual open house. Have a wonderful day, and I hope we see you in person